Peace. 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 What's good, everybody? I hope everybody's doing well. I'm doing well. Check-in time. You know what I mean? Stay consistent time. You know what I mean? What's the subject for today? Conquering the ego. The ego having to be conquered is the first thing that probably one got to deal with in order to go forward in their journey. You know what I mean? Anything, you know, whether it's so-called education, so-called religion, so-called spirituality, fitness, whatever. Like, it's always, you know, you gotta conquer your ego. You gotta start at a very you gotta have a certain level of humility at the beginning of your journey. You know what I'm saying? The reason why I say you gotta do that, because most time, you know, a person who hasn't dealt with their ego in the proper way, they ain't gonna be able to be told nothing. They ain't gonna be able to be advised to do anything, even for their own good. You know what I'm saying? Because their ego will prevent them from taking good sound advice. You know, because for many different reasons, you know, personality might kick in, and well, the personality is a large part of our personalities is our ego, not really our true personality. Because, you know, a lot of us desire to want to learn, we desire to want to change, you know, things of that nature. But our ego, you know, our false sense of pride stops us from, going in the direction, you know, that will give us the progress that we really desire. You know what I'm saying? So that's why you got to deal with your ego first. You know what I'm saying? You know, also the ego is, I connect now at this particular point in time. You know, I've come to realize and understand that, you know, the ego is actually connected to the devil, or the devil energy, whatever you want to call it. The devil, you know, the evil side of things, because the ego will cause you to do wrong things when you know clear as day that is wrong, and you'll still do it because you may have to uphold some type of aspect of your personality or whatever, you know, or basically to maintain a false image of yourself in the eyes of the people, you know. And we find that in all facets of life. You know what I'm saying? This is why we got to deal with it personally first before we, you know, maybe try to advise others to go on that particular path. You know, conquering the ego. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, myself included, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I've had to really do a lot of work on myself, dealing with my ego. You know, like, just different things. You know, like, you know, me being my profession, being a boxing coach, a lot of things dealing with sports and even business is ego driven. You know, it's ego driven. So I kind of like got a lot of experience with dealing with egotistical people, and possibly really being an egotistical person, you know, myself, in different chapters of my life. You know, but, you know, understanding what pride is, and, you know, like pride, you know, a false pride, and, you know, pride, negative pride, you know, the kind of pride that stops you from elevating, you know, on a spiritual or religious level, or just a, you know, being a better individual, you know, in general. Most time, ego in check, you ain't gonna grow. You might memorize some books, you might say that you was around some people that was talking some good stuff, but you won't really make no progress on the inside. You know what I mean? That's why the best work you can do in yourself is in private. You know what I'm saying? Conquering that ego, putting pride. For those of us who have pride, putting our pride in its proper place. You know what I'm saying? And that's just kind of like what I wanted to talk about for the day. And I'm not at a loss for words. It's just, you kind of like when you're advising yourself and you're advising the people, you kind of like want to speak. You want to use your most profound words when you're putting out the advice, for people. But even with this new conscious thing, well, it's new to a lot of us, but it's not new. It has a similar likeness of how we was carrying religion. You got people getting upset because others are coming out, maybe saying the same things that they were saying or have been saying for a long period of time, and start thinking that, people are going to start recognizing them and not recognizing me for the work that I've done. Well, Allah the Most High, God, universe, whatever. That might be another one of those tests that I speak about that you constantly going to be tested with on your elevation process. It's little small tests. Just like in the religion, it was tests. It's tests in this conscious. Even though religion and spirituality is all consciousness, it's just different levels. It's just a different level of consciousness. Religion is. It is, but it is still a conscious realm. And then we might wordplay it. People call it belief and stuff like that, but it's still like, people on a higher conscious level, people that are conscious, or let's say people conscious of God are more conscious than people who are heedless of God and all of that. But we kind of start. I'm starting to see. I see it. I see people. I'm just warning. I'm just really trying to warn myself and warn anybody who want to listen against getting into the competition thing. Because that's another way how we were always defeated in the past, in any kind of movement that was that gained any kind of power or force or whatever. All of the movements got messed up from people getting into the competition thing, infighting and all this different stuff. People trying to receive credit, for things that they have done, but sometimes it's not meant. Sometimes it's not meant for the first one to speak about a thing to be the one to get the most credit. It's just like that, And I always I learned a lot from my experience in my profession. You got a lot of good fighters that are better than the ones that people eyes is on. But that's just how it works. That's how the Most High God, Allah, wanted to work. Sometimes He want for some people to be put out front and to be seen, and others, no matter how good they are, they on the back burner. The same thing with with the boxing coaches. You got a lot of high level coaches that don't get a lot of credit, for their ability, and that's just what was written at that particular point in time or whatever. But if you truly are sincere in what you're doing and you're doing it for the right reasons, you're not going to be overtaken by seeking credit. You know what I mean? You're just not, because and these are like lessons that I learned inside of religion that I keep with me, and I'm always going to keep with me. Yeah, everything that's with me is always going to be with me. But the sincerity thing, it's a big thing. A lot of people do stuff for the wrong reasons, and this is why they don't get out of it what they want to get out of it. yeah, and had they been more sincere in their work and sincere in their intentions on what they was doing, maybe they would have got a better result. But if you're trying to make money or you're trying to, I'm not saying it's nothing wrong with making money. It's nothing wrong with a lot of people putting out a lot of information and services and writing books and stuff like that. And most of the people that take the time to do these things, they sacrifice a lot, So I think you should support people. You should support people who are waking the people up to a lot of different things. But I'm just saying, if that's the people that's doing it, if that's their sole purpose, then you go in Hollywood with it. You're just trying to make money off of it, and then that's where it's gonna get twisted, and you could be easily misled to go down the wrong path. You know what I'm saying? But it's a day-to-day thing. It ain't something we just gonna get on in one day, one talk. You watch one little TikTok video and you change your whole mind and you just deconstruct everything that's been constructed inside of you. No, I say this and I think I'm super smart. You know what I mean? But not even me. You know what I mean? I've been programmed over years, decades, just like everybody else. So, I'm a work in progress also. All of us ain't on the same level. We just not. But, you got a responsibility to yourself. And if you're trying to learn a new game, just to call it that, or you trying to learn a new way of being, etc. You know what I mean? Then you're gonna have to upgrade your level of understanding and stuff. You know what I mean? It's just the nature of what it is. You know what I'm saying? But correcting your behavior, you know what I mean? Correcting your changing your thought process. You gotta do that. You know what I'm saying? You got good information that's bulletproof and solid. It's coming through to a lot of people, but they don't even have the right kind of character to carry it and to implement it and to turn it into reality because they have problems with their character. So a lot of stuff people, out here talking about. It ain't gonna help the people. It ain't gonna help them yet. A lot of people don't even know how to act. That's just because I seen it. I always seen it. I always seen it in religion. There's plenty of stuff inside the religion that's right in his act. But the people never benefited from it because they never really changed. They never changed their behavior. They never changed their character. They never worked on these type of things. You know what I'm saying? Like checking yourself. Like, yo, what do you desire? What do you want out of life? You know what I'm saying? What do you truly want? Do you really want for other people what you want for yourself? Are you really not a hater? Do you really show love? Or are you really a lover of people and a lover of your community? Do you really love, you know what I'm saying? All of these different things, you know what I mean? You gotta check yourself. And the fake ones, you always gonna have fake. Let's say the fake people are always gonna they always gonna try it. You know what I mean? They always gonna try it, but they always fail too. They always fail. You can't judge a person. I ain't talking about no money and none of that stuff. You know what I'm saying? I ain't talking about no money. The people that really got the true respect and love of the people, it's always known who these people are. They may not be the most famous, but the people know who they are. You know what I'm saying? Hit that like button for me. If you're in there and you watch, hit that like button for me. I appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? But it's definitely with the ego, all in the process of conquering the ego. You're gonna have to work on your mindset You're gonna have to stand down for a lot of things. In this day and time, you see people. Well, I see people. You know what I mean. I see a lot of younger people. They talking a lot of stuff, but they don't even understand that history is repeating itself. You know what I mean. You've been multiple conscious movements. You know what I mean, with people, trying to toe the line and trying to put certain high aspects out there on the people. And I seen these movements get tore down because the people don't deal with things in the proper way in levels. You know what I'm saying? That's why I try to do the best I can to try to advise the people to change their character. You know what I'm saying? Work on self-mastery, because all of that is going to turn into a better sense of being and a better character. You have better character, and when you have better character, you got a group of people that's somewhat higher in good character, then it's more of a chance that the movement, that the group is going to win. But if the group forms, and then all of a sudden, you get into all of the foolishness of the other people that ain't on nothing, like, okay, everybody, you getting together, you talking, you got guys, they talking slick, they talking this, they talking that, and then guess what, there always is going to be some women, the women going to like them. And then, I'm just saying, there's nothing wrong with men being women and all that kind of thing. I'm just saying, if you don't deal with correcting your behavior in the way that you see things, and it's going to come out in the way that you do things. That's why self-mastery, and I'm pointing at the wall because I got it written on my wall. Self-mastery is an everyday thing with one who is trying to elevate. You have to master yourself, and you master yourself best by really controlling yourself, abstaining from a lot. If you can master yourself enough to stay away from certain things that you desire, you're along the lines of self-mastery. You're mastering yourself. You know what I'm saying? And then you'll be able to go into other stuff, like learning books, reading books, and then being able, you working day to day on self-mastery and disciplining yourself and controlling yourself. Your mind is going to become stronger, and then the information that you may come across that come to you, you'll be able to understand it better. As opposed to your mind still scattered, you still scattered brain. Every time you see a nice looking woman, a nice looking man, and you over here and you off course and all that stuff. Yeah, you're still in the same mindset. You might just memorize, or you read a book and you know something or whatever from the book, but it still hasn't changed you because you haven't tried to master yourself. And that's another thing that I know about religion. It was, but the people ain't take it the right way. Mastering yourself and disciplining yourself, because my religion, Islam, is full of disciplines. You know what I mean? It's full of disciplines. You know what I mean? And but a lot of people never used to get into those high aspects. They more or less just on the show and for show type thing. You know what I'm saying? But people is people. I've been on foolishness myself, but I'm just saying, I've been favored to live past, those young years, whereas though you give people a pass for being a certain way, you know what I mean? And now I'm here. You know what I'm saying? I'm a new elder. I'm older. So hey, but back then when I was still a young boy, you know what I mean? It was people that used to tell me a lot of things that flew over my head, and I wouldn't really listen, but I was listening. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of stuff that I was blessed to hear, advices. I may not took heed right then and there, but down the line I'll be like, okay, and I'll be like, yeah, okay, I get it now. You know what I'm saying? But you know, as people, the people, we have to start assuming our position. You know, as leaders, as elders. You know, to get the world back on track. You know what I'm saying? And that's just what it is. You know what I mean? I advise myself and anybody want to listen. Hold on for a second. Yeah. Yeah. Ain't nobody in here now. But I think I'm gonna dial back in. 7-Eleven. Numbers don't lie. Dial back in a few.